Excuse me, that was an emergency notification. Someone was endangered. There was a person endangered or in danger out on the streets. All right, so it goes. Write this vision and make it plain on tablets, that he may run who reads it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it will speak and it will not lie. Though it tarries, wait for it, because I will surely come, and I will not tarry. Behold the proud, his soul is not upright in him, but the just live by faith. Indeed, because he transgressed by wine, he is a proud man, and he does not stay at home, because he enlarges his desires as hell. And he is like death, and cannot be satisfied. He gathers to himself all nations. He hoards all his property and people, and heaps up for himself all peoples. And he says, will not all these take up a proverb against him, and a taunting riddle against him, and say, woe to him who increases what is not his, how long? And to him who loads himself with many pledges, who promises. Will not your creditors rise up suddenly? Hey, I gave you a bunch of money, man, and you keep making me these promises. When are you going to pay? That's what happens when you start getting selfish. He goes, will not your creditors rise up suddenly when they not awaken you who oppress you? Who oppresses you? And you will become their booty. Because you have plundered many nations. All the remnant of the people shall plunder you. Because of men's blood and the violence of the land and the city, and of all who dwell in it. So what's that saying? Like, don't worry, because there may be negatives, but there's also positives. Because, we can take advantage of people for so long until that person says, hey, you know what, Johnny, old man, he skipped me on the sack, and then the other goes, yeah, me too. He skipped me on my sack, and then he goes, well, you know what, I'm not going over there to him anymore. Or I'm going to go over there and I'm going to take his. And he ain't going to do nothing no more. We're not dealing with him. There's a good and a bad to that. I mean, that's how that works. And you can't be greedy and not expect someone to take it from you. Because if you're not being fair with your dealings, and a lot of people know this. Did you realize that half the drug dealers that are out there, they don't even use the drug that they're selling? Never thought of that, did you? They don't even use it. They're just there for the money. How greedy is that? So, pride cometh before a fall, that those drug dealers, they eventually get caught. And those drug addicts, they eventually either die or they get clean. And I'm here to help you say, hey, look, I have a choice. I have a choice of what I'm going to do. Am I gonna sell dope and get rich and then lose it all anyways because people are going to get pissed off at me? Or am I going to, keep using, because the wages of sin is death. We know that, right? So if I'm using it all the time, I'm going to end up dying. And I know that. You know that. Everybody knows that. Right? It's just cause and effect. So what I'm getting is, how do we do this? How do we balance all these dang things in our lives? And what's the right step for me? What's the right step for you? And I'm here to tell you that I think I found a way. Would you like to hear it? It's through guided steps that will help you realize your qualities, your good and bad qualities. Where am I at? How am I doing? What things in my life are tolerable and what things aren't tolerable? What things will I accept and what things won't I accept? What am I good at and what am I bad at? What do I how do I love? Do I love good? Do I love bad? Am I selfish or am I good? Greedy or whatever? Or do I give too much? Because giving too much is bad too. I heard a pastor say one time, he says, don't be too bad by being too good. And I go, what? What the heck's that guy saying? He goes, don't be too bad by being too good. Meaning, what he meant by that was, you got to have a little balance. I can't be a self-righteous preacher and up here looking at the pulpit and show no flaws or no defects, because people aren't going to listen to me. That guy's not even down to earth. He's never even been here. He never even did a drug in his life. He's never even been to the other side of the tracks, let alone, drink a beer. So how's that guy going to help me? He doesn't know anything about my addiction. He doesn't know anything about life. And he's only lived on one side of the track. So what I'm here to do is, get you pumped up for the possibility that you're in the perfect place. There's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with me, except for maybe I'm a little excitable. But I'm going to try to help you get to a little bit more balance between it all. Like, how do I, decipher this from that and blah, 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 blah. So would you go through a systematic approach to identifying these qualities and traits and habits, and then coming up with some scientific facts and some biblical truths, along with having faith, having hope that these things are going to change, and teach you a little bit of emotional intelligence along the way. Emotional intelligence has a lot to do with it. The way you feel is it determines the way you act, and the things that you put in your mind. That's why when you go to like a church or whatever, they say no secular music. If you're in a program, they always just say no secular music, no outside music. And what was that about? That was because we were so used to living in a secular world where anything goes, that they wanted us only to put good thoughts in our mind, healthy thoughts, praiseworthy thoughts, things that encouraged us and enlightened us and lifted up our soul and brought our energy up and made us have good feelings. Because those things are the things that control your actions. You get these thoughts, boom, oh man, oh, that makes me feel a certain way, and then oh, that must be fact, and then you get stamped, and then next thing you know, you're feeling that way all the time, and you're going, what the heck happened? Well, come to find out, science came up with a solution. They figured it out. It's a conscious mind, subconscious mind, and thoughts, they all work in conjunction, and your emotions all play part in how we act. So you get these thoughts, and these thoughts are racing, and then one of them sticks, and you go, oh man, that one hurt. And then what happens? Your subconscious imprints that. Boom! It's a big emotional impact on you, so now it's stamped in there. And you're like, whoa! So now that impact stays with you all your life. It did for me. For years and years and years. Even up until, just a while ago. And so what I'm trying to tell you is that you have options. And if you guys stick with me for a little while, I hope to show you some of these ways that I've learned to deal with them. And let's do it together, because I know that I'm not perfect all the time. But I have hope that everything works. I'm trying to take steps to move in that direction. I'm doing things that empower me, and I hope to share those things with you. So if you'd like to join me here at the Prophet Stop, I will not only have sometimes funny, sometimes tragic stories, and some enlightening information for you to learn on your discovery, learn on the way, and empower you and motivate you to step out in faith and try something different. Maybe drink one less beer, take one less Coke, or whatever it is. I mean, hey, I don't judge, because I can't judge, unless I be judged. I'm not going to judge you, you don't judge me, right? All right, that works out, right? So, with that being said, I invite you to come over to the Prophet Shop, and if you do, we will have some things for you to, some literature that you can look at, and some videos, and we will gonna make a monthly prize, I believe, for. I haven't figured quite that out, so maybe maybe I'll ask you guys, and you guys can help me decide what that might look like. But when we go on this journey together, remember that we're doing this together. That you know, you have a confidant with the Prophet Shop. I'll empower you. I'll teach you some things. Maybe you guys will obviously be teaching me things, because I don't. Everything changes from one day to the next. So with that being said, we can do this together, and we can all conquer this through hope and faith in God, and let us unite as one to where we can get this even flow. So dark and light can work in conjunction with each other, and find a delicate balance. They dance together, dark and light. And that's the way I love seeing it. So I love you. Hey, do you love you? Because I love you. Do you love you? Because I don't even know you and I love you. Do you love you? Oh, well, okay, all right. You the man. Don't let nobody tell you that you ain't the man. Want to know why? Because you're the man. I'm not the man. I just work for the man. You the man. Have a good day, okay, everybody? No, can't do that. We gotta end in prayer. Father God, thank you for this knowledge, Father. Thank you for this time we've had together. Thank you for the love you and the peace you give me right now, Father. And Father, I thank you for all the people who will be joining the Prophet Shop. Father, I thank you for all the blessings that you're going to give the Prophet Shop. I thank you for the blessings you're going to give to the lives of the people who visit the Prophet Shop and those who don't either. Thank you for science, for bringing this knowledge to us, and I thank you, Father, for the tragedies that have given us all wisdom. So, Father, I thank you for all these things in advance, and protect our loved ones in our nation, and help our rulers make better choices with their decisions, Father. And I just thank you for these things in advance, because we know by faith that you will do this, and it shall be done.